Welcome to Double Fries No Slaw. It is Thursday. Oh, it's Wednesday evening. We moved these to Wednesdays. I don't even know what day it is, but it is Wednesday evening. We are back again September 21st to preview the Boston College game this weekend. I am live here at Bay Cannon Beer Co. Richie's in the most beautiful room of anyone on the network, decorated well at home, but also drinking his Bay Cannon beer. Richie, how you doing?
Good, man. I'm excited. It's another game week, a chance to go 4-0. Just picked up a big commit last night, Friday night. Might get another one. My goodness, this start to the season has been phenomenal. So just ride the high while we can, right? Because we know at some point there will be adversity, but I'm just excited to be back on here talking Florida State football.
And we deserve this. We started the podcast. We started the podcast in 2020. Not only is there a worldwide pandemic going on, but won 3 games. Last year, just talk about the heartbreakers. Won 5 games, so improvement, but pretty struggle bus for a lot of the year. So we deserve this. 3-0, big favorites on Saturday night. Recruiting going well. We're excited about all of that. Hey, we've got a little contest going on tonight. If you're watching, if you're listening, we are going to do a giveaway for 2 tickets to the BC game. If you just like and comment, if you like this stream and comment here on the live stream, at the end of the stream, we'll announce the winner. You can reach out to us on social media. I'll put my email in the comments, and you can hit me up so that we can get you those tickets. They're my personal tickets. Again, I don't have Harlan level seats, so you're not on the 50, but you are on about the 30. You'll have pretty good view on the home side, 8 p.m. Should be pretty close to a sellout in Doak. Really, really good seats. Again, comment, like. If you haven't subscribed yet, that'd be a good thing too. It doesn't increase your chances, but it does help us out. So give us a like and a comment, and we'll get you entered to win the tickets. Again, Bay Cannon Beer Co. If you are here in Tampa, we do these previews every Wednesday night. Come out, BOGO beer if you wear your FSU gear or any sports gear. I'll also link in the comments here live and the comments in the show description, a place where you can order Bay Cannon Beer Co. and have it delivered to your house through Bavana. Shout out to Matt and the good folks over here at Bay Cannon that let us hang out here on Wednesday nights. Let's get right after it. Let's get to our guest. We have a guest from BC Interruption. His name's Curtis Flannery, and he is our guest on the Rohan Law Extra Sauce guest segment. I'll give Rohan Law a quick shout out, and we'll get to Curtis. Doug and his team over at Rohan Law handle personal injury matters. They're ready to maximize your recovery with your car wreck case or your slip and fall. Doug and his wife are both former marching chiefs. He graduated from FSU's law school. Big-time booster, loves FSU football and baseball, loves giving back to university by supporting NIL collectives and the boosters. Just like we enjoy talking strategy and reviewing plans for FSU winning on Saturday night, Doug and his team will come up with a winning strategy for your case. Call them today at 888-99-NOLES. That's 888-99-NOLES for free to talk about your accident. Even if you don't need them now, give them a follow on YouTube and Twitter. It's Rohan Law PC. They can entertain you and teach you about your rights so you know exactly what to do in case of a slip and fall or car crash. They are your best friend on your worst day. Curtis, thanks for hanging with us while we did that long read for Rohan Law. How are you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm all right. Thanks for having me. Excited to talk about BCFSU this weekend.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I was looking it up. Florida State's on a little bit of a streak right now. Won, I think, the last 3. Before that, BC won just an absolute beat down, 35-0 up there. But spread's kind of high on this. Wanted to just kind of get your overall thoughts. Starting up front. BC's always seemed to have a pretty stout O-line. A little bit different this year due to attrition and injuries. Florida State's got some injuries they're working through too that I'm sure you guys are focused on. But how bad is that offensive line situation? Is that something FSU fans because that is something FSU fans from the last decade can kind of relate with?
Yeah, definitely. Well, going into the season, it was already in rough shape. We lost 4 out of 5 starters from the previous season, which included Zion Johnson, who went first round in the NFL draft to the Chargers. But coming in, we were hoping that because they were decent recruits, that they'd be able to just plug into the system and play pretty well. But then Christian Mahogany, another one of our top O-linemen, went down for the season with injury in the offseason. So we have 5 out of 5 new starters. And despite the system and how well it's worked in the past, it's just not been working well so far this year. They got 20-something rushing yards against Rutgers. They got, I think, 4 total rushing yards against Virginia Tech. It's been really ugly so far. And we recently had Kevin Klein, one of our redshirt freshmen, go down for the year as well. So now we're starting a preferred walk-on the O-line as well. So it's in really rough shape. And yeah, it's going to be a big weakness and a big thing to watch for BC this weekend.
Is that PWO a true freshman as well?
I believe so. I'd have to go back and check, but it's not looking great for experience. Definitely, there were only a few starts among the entire offensive line heading into the season.
Yeah, and that's got to be frustrating because Boston College has a very good quarterback in Phil Jurkovich. Probably a guy that's going to play on Sundays. How much is the offensive line holding, him and the offense back? Because when Boston College had it rolling and Phil was healthy last year, he was a very good college quarterback.
Oh, no, definitely. BC is traditionally with Jurkovic the past 2 years, they've been really good at establishing the run, which opens up the field great for him to throw the ball deep to Zay Flowers or short to the tight end. Previously, it's been Hunter Long. This year, it's George Tactics. But yeah, without the ability to establish that run game, Jurkovic's just not been able to air out the passes as much as he'd like to. He's also been pressured a lot this season. He's getting sacked a bunch. He's usually pretty good at avoiding those pressures, but it's been tougher when he's getting pressure pretty much every single play this year.
Yeah, and you mentioned Zay Flowers, 22 catches through 3 games already. Even with the offense that has struggled, he's still finding a way to get his. Florida State's cornerbacks have struggled in the coverage a little bit this year. Is he going to be able to, take advantage of that? Because I do expect him to have a quality game. But outside of him in what I think is a favorable matchup, if Jurkovich has time, who else should Florida State look for on Boston College's offense?
Yeah, so Zay Flowers definitely is number one. They're going to get him the ball no matter what. Even when Phil struggles passing downfield because of the way their OL's been playing, they get Zay the ball in the backfield. They'll hit him on a screen. They'll hit him on a short crosser, whatever they can do to get the ball in his hands because he's really shifty, really good at that horizontal lateral movement. Other than him, I'd say a name to watch out for is George Tactics. He's a Notre Dame transfer at tight end this year. He's really been quietly lighting it up under Zay. He's really a big threat in those short intermediate routes. He's a big, tall guy, big and beefy, can really shed blocks pretty easily. So he's a name to watch out for. And then Jaden Williams is another receiver who has started to pop off a bit with his deep routes, like Zay Flowers often does. He can often get edge on a defender.
Yeah, I don't like hearing about the Notre Dame tight end transfer because Notre Dame has given our tight ends hell the few years we played them, the first 2 years under Mike Norvell. But defensively, I think Florida State's game plan really is, Curtis, just going to come out and run the ball, right? Whether it's Jordan Travis or Tate Rodemaker who starts, I think the game plan's similar. Like, if you can establish the ground game, do it. What are the strengths of Boston College's defense, and how do you think that matches up against what should be a pretty good rushing attack with a 3-headed monster in the backfield at Florida State?
No, lucky for FSU, that's the exact way to beat BC. Jeff Hafley's a defensive backfield kind of guy. He's really skilled at recruiting cornerbacks and safeties and coaching them up. They even got Jaden Woodby from FSU, who's one of the leaders on this unit this year. So the passing defense is really strong for BC. It's the front 7 where they tend to struggle more. They have a couple run stuffers, Donovan Izarayaku. It's difficult to say his name, but he's really stepped up this year after being a little bit quieter last year. But otherwise, their linebacking core is really shaky, and they don't have a lot of solid guys on the D line. So establishing the run is definitely going to be the priority for the Seminoles.
What is the mood there amongst it? Just kind of big picture, right? What's the mood there? I think BC fans were expecting, with Jurkovic and a lot of talent coming back. Flowers turning down reported offers other places. It can't be thrilled, right? Like, but what, is there an understanding? Is it, yeah, so many guys injured. Like, how could you see? Or like, is the, fans are, fan is short for fanatic, right? So are people being pretty rough on the staff and the team?
Yeah, well, the mood is definitely not good, very bad. Last year, the injury thing was sort of the excuse or explanation, whatever you want to call it. Dracovic went down early in the year, and they still managed to get up to a 6-6 record despite the injury to Dracovic for most of the year. And he did come back from injury last season, but he wasn't himself. But they still managed to get together and become bowl eligible. This season, not so much. Nobody significant is really injured other than one offensive lineman. This roster is mostly pretty healthy, but it just has not come together, mostly because of the offensive line. Rutgers and Virginia Tech were supposed to be two of the easiest games on BC's schedule and was sort of going to create a bit of a tune-up the first 3 weeks, but they dropped a close game against Rutgers, and then Virginia Tech, they sort of just got laughed off the field because of how inconsistent their offensive line has been. So the mood is not good. Jeff Hafley has some time to right the ship. It's only his third year as head coach. There aren't any, at least reasonable fans calling for his head or a hot seat right now. But if at the end of the year they go something like 3-9 or in that range, he's going to have some pressure on him next year because he took over a program that was consistently going to bowl games. And in his first 2 years, he got 6 wins each year. So that if he regresses this year, it's going to be rough for him.
Jaden Woodby is a kid that transferred from Florida State, was here, recently and in the past. How has he looked? Florida State fans got to go up against a transfer last week in Jarvis Brownlee, and I don't know how much you follow things that happen down here, but Jarvis had left, not the most graciously, and Florida, he ended up giving up the game-winning touchdown. So Florida State fans were very happy about that. I don't think that's the same situation with Jaden at all. Florida State fans would be fine with seeing him do really, really well. But talk to us about him and how he's done so far this year.
Yeah, Jaden's been a great addition to the team ever since he transferred. Him and Josh DeBerry are really a two-man duo up there in the backfield, DeBerry at cornerback and Woodby at safety. And that's been the one major highlight of this BC team is that pass defense anchored by those two. He's really the guy to watch. He's excellent in man-to-man coverage. He really understands Jeff Hafley's scheme well, and he's able to utilize them in a way that has forced teams to run the ball up the gut consistently because they can't get much going on him in the air.
On the Rohan Log guest line, Curtis Flannery. Curtis, I want to ask you, does it surprise you a little bit that Florida State's this big of a favorite when there's so much question around, is Jordan Travis kind of the heartbeat of the team, gonna be there, not gonna be there, what the situation is, or is that just kind of where BC is right now? Is there confidence? Does that surprise you a bit? Does that surprise the fan base as well?
I think it's about right. It is a little surprising if Jordan Travis doesn't end up playing, but like you said, FSU's got that three-headed monster at running back, and BC's rush defense is one of the weaker parts of their defense. So if they can establish the run even without Travis playing, I think they'll be favored by a decent amount. And then BC's offense, it's just looked completely inept to this point. FSU is going to be probably the best defense they've faced so far this season after playing some not so great teams. So after only putting up about 20 points against Rutgers, 10 against Virginia Tech, I don't see them succeeding very much against FSU. So I'd say a score somewhere in the 30s for FSU and somewhere in the teens for BC probably makes sense. So that spread, I think I saw 17 points, seems about right.
Yeah, I was going to ask your prediction, but I feel like you just kind of gave it there. And that's kind of where I see it too, right? Like Florida State could score anywhere from 31 to 38, and BC could score anywhere from like 13 to 17. So you could have something that's like really wide or maybe like 14 points, but I don't know I just don't know. Now, I do think there's a path, and that path is probably Jordan Travis not playing and Tate not looking very good, and that being, the ways that BC could do it. So we'll ask you this, and then we'll get you out of here. you're in Boston. We'll kind of go off the wall here. We're Double Fries No Slaw is an ode to Guthrie's in Tallahassee. So if you've never been down, it's just a greasy chicken tender place that you need to try and throw out the coleslaw, right? Get the double fries. But what are your we're coming up to Boston next year. What are your top? We talked about the North End, the Italian food and stuff before we got on here. But what are your can't miss spots there in Boston that people?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you're near BC's campus, right in Cleveland Circle, which is right down the street from BC, the popular pizza place is Pino's Pizza. It's a pretty famous pizza place as far as Boston places go. It's been highly reviewed, and if you're ordering pizza at BC, that's where you're going to order. They have really high quality stuff. So that's something I'd check out if you're headed to the game. Otherwise, like you said, the North End, it's one of the best Italian food experiences you can find on the East Coast. It's really good. I won't call out any specific Italian restaurants. I mean, there are just so many. But as far as pastries go, cannolis are a big thing in the North End as well.
Mike's, let's go.
Yeah, so Mike's Pastry, that's one of the more popular ones with tourists. But you also want to look at Modern Pastry, which is right nearby in the North End as well as Bova's. All three of those places have great cannoli as well as other Italian pastries. So that's something I'd definitely check out.
Last question. Best lobster roll in the city?
You get someone to fight over this one.
That's tough.
I'm gonna be downvoting our YouTube, bro. Relax.
This is
I forget where I had it at. It was someone right on the water. It was like a walk up, you could eat inside, but it was mostly a line outside where you would get it, and it was phenomenal. It was amazing. I can't remember the name of the place.
Yeah, there's something I think I'm forgetting the name too, but I think there's a restaurant right on the pier, maybe Pier 43.
That's what it was.
That might be the name of it. What I really enjoy, Luke's Lobster, which is in the Fenway downtownish area. That's somewhere I really enjoy to go for a lobster roll. They have another one up in Portland, Maine, which I've been to, which I really enjoy. So it's sort of a chain, not really. There are 3 locations probably, but that's where I'd say. But you can get a lobster roll in a lot of places in Boston. That's very good.
Yeah, I just got back from Louisville on Sunday. Boston is definitely my road trip next year. I mean, hopefully it's kind of earlier in the year. I don't really want to do it in November, but hopefully we kind of can do the September thing again, and we'll come up there and see you guys.
But Boston's a great city in the spring and summer. And the fall is great with the foliage, but once you hit November through say March, it's kind of dreary. I'll admit it.
When I was at the best 2015 game, when I was at the 2015 game, I couldn't believe I got to wear jeans to the game and wasn't hot. I'm at a football game in September, and it is gorgeous weather outside everywhere. And actually, we should get some pretty nice weather in Doak this weekend, thanks to some little front coming along here.
Yeah, it's starting to cool off here right now. It's finally hitting 60s here, so starting to get towards June weather. Nice. Within a few weeks, it'll be great fall football weather up here in Boston.
One last shout out. I know this is the BC thing, but Mr. Bartley's across from Harvard. I know it's a tourist thing too, but really good burgers. Have you hit that? Have you gone over there?
Yeah, a while ago, but I do remember it being very good.
So beers out plastic cups and totally dive feel. So Curtis, tell the people where they can find you, where they can follow along, and maybe check out some of your work as Florida State takes on BC in the next few days, where they can kind of catch up with all things Eagles.
Sure, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Curtis Flannery, and I'm the football editor for BC Interruption. That's bcinterruption.com. And I'm posting weekly previews of all of our football games, as well as ACC power rankings and all that good stuff if you want to read up on BC and ACC football.
Awesome. Good stuff, Curtis. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Absolutely. Take care, bud.
You too.
Thanks, Curtis.
Curtis Flannery of BC Interruption. They've always had a really, really good SB Nation site. I know that Syracuse, now that he's off here, I know that Syracuse and BC aren't always the best, when it comes to football. Their SB Nation sites have always been the best. To me, when Bud was running Tomahawk Nation and BC Interruption and the Q's one, I forget the name of it. But anyway, those have always been News Orange. Those have always been really, really good. So appreciate Curtis for coming on. Hey, if you're listening, if you're watching, to enter into free FSU BC tickets this weekend. Now, if you can't go to the game, still enter in and we'll get you something. We'll get you something of some kind of value. But all you have to do to win the giveaway tonight is leave us a comment. Comment right now on the live stream. It don't even have to say anything. Go Noles. You could say whatever. Make fun of the Gator. It doesn't matter. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the comment button. We're trying to give away some BC tickets for the game this weekend. Should be a ton of fun at 8 p.m. there in Tallahassee. Doak will be rocking. Do us a favor and comment, thumbs up. And if you really want to help out, hit the subscribe button. Harlan, I saw you comment. You're not allowed to win this, but I do appreciate your comment. We're excited. And again, at the end of the stream, so in about 10, 15 minutes, we will announce the winner. So hang out here for a few minutes, and we'll get somebody announced and won and get you guys some free tickets for the game tonight. Also, if you have any questions, if there's anything we can answer for you, hit the super chat. We had that rocking last week. Hasn't been rocking as much this week, but I get it. I don't know if the super chat increases your chances of winning the contest or not. Probably not. Maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Again, that was Curtis Flannery on the Rohan Law segment. Hey, guys, I want to give them one other shout out. We introduced you to Doug and his team earlier in the program. Not only are we giving away the BC tickets, we're also giving away 2 Champions Club tickets and a parking pass to the Clemson matchup. That'll be announced in a little over a week, right after the Wake Forest game. But if you want to win those Clemson tickets, if you want to sit in the Champions Club for free, have a parking pass, just a world-class experience, I need you to text Noles to 850-809-1906. Again, text the word Noles, Noles, to 850-809-1906, and that'll be your way to win tickets to the Champions Club for the Clemson game. I'm so jealous. Okay, let me just tell you guys. Shout out Doug and his team. But they gave me those tickets for the Duquesne game, and I sat in them, and it was fantastic. I took my little girl. And then he was like, hey, I also have tickets for the Clemson game. And I was like, here we go. And he's like, I want to give them away on the show. And I was like, oh, man, I thought you were about to make my life. So I don't get them. One of you guys get them. NOLES to 850-809-1906. That's your chance to win Champions Club tickets and a parking pass to the FSU Clemson game coming up. All right, let's keep it going, Richie. We don't have a ton else here, but I will say we've got our pick 6, and then we'll talk a little bit about BC, get any of your thoughts, and get out of here. But it is our Made Equal Clothing pick 6. We appreciate Made Equal Clothing, appreciate their support of the show. They've got some exciting stuff coming in 2 days. A new website launching. We'll be able to share with you. If you follow them on social media, it's Made Equal CO everywhere. Twitter.com/Made Equal CO. That is the handle. I'll throw it in the comments. Go give them a follow. Tell them you support them, appreciate what they do to give back. Go check out Made Equal Clothing. They do a lot to support not only our student athletes, but give back in our communities and folks that are underprivileged. So go check out Made Equal Clothing. Excited for their website to drop. We will link that when it does on social media on Friday. Very, very excited for that. All right, Richie, got our picks. We're bringing Harlan in here.
Let's do it. And real quick, I said it last week, and I say it again. I cannot wait to get those joggers from Made Equal because I've been browsing their website. First of all, the most comfortable, like acceptable casual wear you can do. It's so versatile. Airplane, just going out in general. I'm pretty pumped to snag a pair of those.
I'm with it. I'll see if I can get you a discount code, Richie. I'll see what I can do. All right. How are we doing from last week? Where are we at this? We don't have to go through like who hit what from last week, but can you zoom in on that a little bit, Harlan?
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, I like
that's actually it's maxed at 200%. That's
fine.
Who's in the lead again? Harlan, read those scores to us.
That would be Richie at 13, PJ at 11.
Oh, I had a rough week last week.
Who?
Harlan's already got his. I did, obviously, because I was winning. Now I'm not winning. Okay. All right. First one. Let's run with it, Richie. I don't want to focus too much on who's in the lead. Season.
We'll go a little quick here. So the first one, it's basically is Jordan Travis going to play or not? 0.5 snaps over under. Harlan, I'll let you go first because I see you've already put that in there.
Yeah, I'm going under. I may or may not have some insight, but who knows? Who knows?
Okay.
Probably
TJ,
not.
what do you think, man?
Under. Yeah, I think he's available in like a worst case scenario, but I don't think he's going to be needed, and so under.
I'll go over. I think he starts.
Ooh,
I
just caught one up on Richie. Let's go.
Hey, I'm trying to help you all here. So Phil Jerkovich, 210.5 pass yards. I'll go first. I think I'll say over because I do think Florida State's going to have a lead the majority of the game. And we just heard Curtis tell us they can't run the ball, right? They're going to find ways to get it to Flowers. I think he can get to, 220, 230 at least because they're going to be playing from behind. Not to spoil my score prediction, but I think they're playing from behind for a lot of the game.
I've got over as well. Sorry, I just want to see what that button did. Yeah, give me over. Looks like Harlan has the same thing.
Yeah, I'm going over. I think they're going to be trailing, like Richie said. So I think they're going to have to throw it.
Just throw it a ton. He'll have more picks, but he'll also have a lot of yards.
All right. So Ward, Benson, Toafili, 175.5 rush yards. Let's go with TJ first on this one.
Yeah. I saw your answer there, Harlan. Same thing. Over. I think they're really gonna force the rock, and you won't have Jordan in there running it. If he does start, I don't think he runs at all. So I think they're going to be pounding the rock, man. And so over here is I might have taken this at 200, but yeah, over.
Yeah, it's probably a bad line, to be honest. So the app we used did not update for Florida State yet. So this is all from the Barnes Sportsbook. But yeah, I'm going to take over as well because I do think even if Jordan Travis does start, like I think he might. He hasn't run the ball much against LSU when he was perfectly healthy. He didn't run the ball much against Louisville, right? I just think they trust him as a quarterback and running as a last resort. So, I'll just say over on this.
I got to make up some ground, so I'm going to go under.
Wow.
You're
not going to do it that way.
Rodemaker's going to sling it all over the place. Let's do it.
All right. Zay Flowers, 77.5 receiving yards. Their best offensive player versus our weakest unit. If our defensive line is somewhat healthy, if they're as banged up as they might be, that might be a liability, but I don't think it'll matter this game because their offensive line is so bad. But I'm going to take the over on Zay Flowers here, 77.5. Harlan.
Yeah, I'm going to go over too. Like I said, I think they're going to be throwing it around a lot, and I think he's the best they have. So I see him going over 77.5.
I'll go under. I don't know if Cooper will be back 100% like we want, but I'll take Florida State to kind of shade him and make other guys beat them. So yeah, give me the under here. They shut down Boutte, so they'll shut down Flowers too.
Yeah. So the next one, kind of off the wall, these last two, but Florida State kickers to attempt a kick, but that should say a field goal / PAT. Basically, I think this is a big game for Ryan Fitzgerald because if he misses that first field goal he attempts, I think we might see somebody else. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and take the under and say he just makes his first one, and maybe that gives him the confidence he needs because it's like golf, right? When you're playing a bad round, it goes downhill quick.
Wait. So it's point. So 0.5 would mean you're saying like different kickers?
1.5. 1.5.
Okay, make it 1.5. Yeah. Okay, well, then I got under as well. Yeah, only Fitzgerald kicks here. We're going to score a lot of touchdowns, so he'll make all his extra points and be fine. But yeah, I got under.
I'm going to go over. Mike,
you think?
I believe Mike gave him a vote of confidence the other day, so I think he stays with him, sticks with him.
So wait, you want the back up? So you want the under? So now it's how many different kickers will kick on Saturday?
Oh yeah, I'll go under.
Okay, yeah.
All right, last one. I'll go TJ Harlan, then me.
Wait, are you under as well? Oh yeah, we're all three under.
Yeah, so I'll go TJ, then Harlan, then me. Team USA. It's the President's Cup this weekend, guys. Quill Hollow, Charlotte, North Carolina. It's like the Ryder Cup light, right? Not as big, but it's still USA versus the international team. TJ, 19.5 points, 30 points total, 30 matches, 1 point per match. They can split them. Do you think the U.S. they're going to win? I'll just say that right now. But 19.5 points. They won by that margin at the Ryder Cup.
This is the President's Cup.
Yes. 30 total points available.
So I'm going to go under. It looks. I just looked up the odds real quick, and yeah, I'm gonna go under. But this is a good line. You said a good line here, so I'll go under.
Harlan, looks like you got the over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over. Team USA, baby.
So
I got us
the top-
winning. I just don't have us going over.
it's going to be a bloodbath, guys. I got the over of the top 25 golfers in the world. 12 will be on Team USA. 3 will be on the international team. This might hit 22, 23 points. Give me Team USA.
This is going to be big 1776 vibes is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah, big time. Big time.
All right, Harlan. Thank you, man, for hanging out.
I have to throw a tea party Sunday.
Wait, I don't get give my score prediction this week. I was only a 1 week.
Yeah, that's fine. Score prediction it up.
Let's see. I went 42-14 last week, so
Pretty terrible.
let's go. Let's go 35-17.
35-17. Okay.
Noles.
Richie. Yeah, I figured. I was going to say, you better not be going the other way. 35-17. Richie, do you have any other thoughts on this BC game? Then we'll score predict, then we'll talk a little recruiting and get out of here. Again, if you guys are watching, if you're listening, hit the comment button. We're going to do a giveaway here in about 5 minutes for tickets to the BC Florida State game this weekend. If you know somebody that needs tickets and you can't make them, we'll work it out. We'll get it taken care of. We'll get a transfer done. They are my personal tickets. We're giving them all away. I can't make it this weekend, but I do want Noles in the house. I want it to be pretty loud. I want it to be packed. So go there and yell and go nuts in my seats. But hit the comment button, hit the like button so your comment counts, and then make sure you're subscribed. We're going to do ticket giveaways and Garnet and Gold giveaways, Guthrie's giveaways, Gramco giveaways, all those things. Maybe those some beer giveaways is sitting behind me. We do giveaways on like every show from now on. I just feel like I appreciate you guys supporting, so we'll give a bunch of stuff away. Richie, any thoughts on this BC game? Then we'll do some score predictions and get out of here.
Yeah, I guess my final thoughts are it's kind of weird sitting here, right? Because when was the last time we went into an ACC game that you expected to win that would be extremely disappointing if you lost, right? Because Louisville last week, it's a game that we agreed that Florida State should win, but a loss wasn't going to surprise anybody. Here you are. These are the games you have to win if you're Mike Norvell, and we're talking about the climb, right? It's really important to beat a team that you're a 3-score favorite over on the lower half of the conference, because these are the games that this season, that's the difference between like a 6-6 and 8-4. If you take care of business, maybe next year it's the difference between 8-4 and 10-2. And maybe in a few years, it's the difference between a playoff and a New Year's Six game. So these are the games you have to win. I don't care if it's a little close. I don't want it to be too close. I want this team to take care of business. But I think this is a big game for Florida State. I think that second half against Louisville might, if this season turns out looking like it possibly could in a positive manner, we're going to look at that second half against Louisville. But yeah, I just think this is the type of game that we haven't had in a while, where it's an ACC opponent early in the season where you say, you know what, we should win this game. Like, and if we lose, that's kind of a WTF moment, right?
Yeah, Florida State dropping this game. I don't even know if I could compare anything to it. When was the last time they were a 17-point favorite? Maybe I should have looked this up. When was the last time they were a 3-score favorite against a Power 5 team?
Yeah.
Right? That's been a long time. Maybe
Duke in the COVID year when they mailed it in last game of the season, but I wouldn't even count that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, this isn't something that we haven't seen in a long time. Now that you said that, I just want to kind of look it up real quick and see what that one was. No, Florida State was a 3.5-point favorite in that game. So as I'm sitting here, yeah, I'll do another one of those. 8's great. Yeah, I mean, maybe something in 2016. So I think that this would be a terrible one to lose. I do think if you start a backup quarterback, any win is fine. I don't think it's a problem. If you win this by 7 points and you don't cover the spread, that doesn't matter. If Jordan plays and is 85, 90% healthy, you need a win going away. If Tate plays, a win is a win, man. They didn't, Florida State was favored by a lot in the national championship, and they didn't write on the crystal ball. They didn't write, but they didn't cover the spread. A win's a win. You get out of here, you get your win, you move on. You get one game closer. You're 2 games from bowl eligibility by winning this game, right? And then you're 2-0 in the ACC. You got everything you want right in front of you. So, yeah, Florida State needs to win this game, needs to win it going away. And I think they will. I think this team has turned a corner. We got a comment here about Florida State playing down to their opponent. I don't believe that Florida State will play down to their opponent. I think that Mike Norvell has done a phenomenal job over the last 2 years, this year and last year, of getting the team to play up no matter when it was. There was a lot of concern around, oh, man, what if Duquesne plays us really well? Oh, man, what about UMass last year? I think since that Jacksonville State game, they have turned a corner and they get up for every game, whether it's a big game, small game, whatever. 8 p.m. in Doak, I've got really no concerns about the team getting up for it. So I think the Noles win this going away. I'll give a score prediction of something like, oh, man. Yeah, let's go 38-17. So I think they score a few times. I think they're going to get a lot of possessions because we're going to score a lot. 38-17. What did you give one yet, Richie, or you want to give one now?
No, I do think Florida State just says, let's shorten the game and get out of here, right? I think Mike Norvell's like, this team is beat up. Luckily, it doesn't sound like any of those injuries from Louisville were season-ending. So we may not get them all back this week, but we will in the next coming week. So I think Mike Norvell sees a big game against Wake Forest next week in Doak again. And he says, let's just do what we can do and get out of here. I have no confidence in Boston College sustaining drives whatsoever, even if Lovett and Verse cannot play. But again, I think it'll be a slightly fewer possessions because Florida State's going to run the ball. I'd be surprised if we throw the ball more than 22 times in this game. So I'll say Florida State 34. Make that 31 because Fitzgerald's going to go 1 for 2 from the on his field goal attempts. And Boston College, 13. Like this is a big game for Fuller. We talked about last week was a big game for him. He did not pass the test. We won the game, but he did not pass the test. But I do think this Boston College offensive line is so bad. Do you remember that first year under Willie Taggart went to Syracuse? When Landon Dickerson was out, we couldn't do anything. We scored 7 points. I think that's kind of where BC is right now. So, yeah, I'll say 31-13 Florida State. That's a cover and the under, I believe.
I like it. I think the Noles cover here. May have a video coming out probably Friday morning about the spread and what you should maybe look at there and what you should do in that situation. Listen, I am again live at Bay Cannon Beer Co. I'm going to put a link in, and if you want to support the show, if you want to do really, really good things, help us, you can buy this beer. I'll put that in the comments. You guys can shop Bavana.com to get this good beer. They just refilled mine here at the brewery. So they refilled mine. Richie's on his 7th or 8th cup tonight. So shout out to the folks that refill the beer. Richie, let's talk a little bit of recruiting. Rick, I see your question about, the Wake, inclement weather. I mean, that's what you get in mid to late September. We'll see. They've got the forecast up there on the TV. We'll talk about that more next week. Hopefully Wake doesn't get out of that beatdown that's coming their way.
Yeah. Good news, TJ. I actually have one of my good buddies from college works at the Weather Channel. Another one works for the National Weather Service. So if there is we'll
get them on instead of
if there is a need to do a quick update. Again, got subscribed to the YouTube channel because we're not going to do a show on it, but we'll definitely do like a 5-10 minute YouTube video on it. And you'll get the notifications. So as TJ said, smash that subscribe button right now.
Smash it. Again, if you guys weren't here, hit the comment on the channel and we'll give away 2 tickets to BC Florida State here in about 2 minutes. Richie, quick recruiting thoughts. Obviously, Florida State picks up 4-star linebacker Blake Nicholson last night. Guys, we put a video up on that. You can go check it out. We also did an instant reaction live with some fans. Really, really good stuff there in the running, and feel really good about Hakeem Williams on Friday night. Stay tuned and hit the subscribe button because we'll also break that down if and when it happens. But Richie, any real quick recruiting thoughts before we go?
Yeah, I mean, we'd already talked about Blake a decent bit between the videos we put out after he committed. Great pickup. I do think you're going to have to continue to recruit the heck out of that guy because he's going to have options, and only more schools are going to come in as his senior season goes on. Hakeem Williams, I give us about a 49% chance. I think we might be the favorite, but you can't discount A&M and that oil money. In Miami, the hometown team, you always have to watch out for and give them at least a little bit of a chance. But I don't think things could have set up better than him watching the only college football game on last Friday night, seeing Johnny Wilson go nuts, and then being at A&M Miami where there was no offense played at all, set the modern college football offense back by 20 years. I like our chances to get Hakeem, and more so with him than Nicholson. You're going to have to fight off other teams because nobody's going to stop recruiting that guy. Nobody stops recruiting elite receivers like that. Even if he picks A&M's, Mike Norvell is not going to stop recruiting him. That's one that's going to go down to early signing day.
Yeah, cake's been baked, bro. Hakeem to the Noles is my prediction on Friday night. If I got to wear that prediction, I'll wear it. So, give me the Noles picking up a 5-star to get into the top 15 of the 247 recruiting rankings. So, man, that's a good question, Tom. Nobody hit the super chat tonight. Y'all had a bunch of good questions, but nobody wanted to hit the super chat. Do I think UF's recruiting class is going to start fall apart? I think Tennessee is going to beat the absolute dog crap out of them, and so then just kind of stay tuned for. The start of the Napier era looks very similar to the start of the Taggart era, where there was a lot of excitement and then games got played. So we'll see. We'll talk about that later as it goes on. Richie, you got any shout outs before we get out of here?
No, shout out Team USA at the President's Cup and shout out Mike Norvell and the Noles. I'm excited for this weekend. I'm going to play some golf Saturday morning. That's the only good thing about an 8 p.m. game against a no-name opponent. When you get to be my age, you want nothing more than early kicks if it's not a big game.
No doubt about it. All right, cool. My only shout outs are for Bay Cannon Beer Co., Made Equal Clothing, and Rohan Law. Appreciate their support. And let's see who's going to win these tickets. If you win, you have until tomorrow night at what? I'll give you 24 hours. You have until tomorrow night at 9 p.m. to reach out to me either via social media or I'll put my email in. But 3, 2, 1. If this ends up being one of our sponsors, Harlan or ourselves that commented, we'll redraw. But let's run the thing and see what wins. Here's my email if you need to reach out to me here. FSU grad 03. FSU grad 03. Hopefully you were watching. Hopefully you were listening. You just won 2 tickets to Florida State, Boston College. I put my email in the chat. If you need to reach out to me via email, whether you have social media or not, you can reach out. Guys, hit the subscribe button. We've got over 70 people in here right now. I need you guys to all hit the subscribe button. We're going to be giving away tickets all year long. Of course, we have the ticket giveaway going with Rohan Law that you guys can win tickets to the Clemson game in the Champions Club. Scott, that's a great point. Don't forget to share the broadcast to your favorite social media platform. All that stuff helps. We want to give back to you guys. Richie and I enjoy doing this, but we really want to give back to you guys and give you guys Garnet and Gold gift cards. We want to give you guys Bay Cannon beer. We want to give you guys tickets to games. So FSU grad 03, hit me up on social media. Send me a screenshot or shoot me an email. We'll get you some tickets. Thank you guys for hanging out. Excited for what's coming for the Noles. It's been a fun start to the season. I think it's just going to get better. We got more fireworks coming. We'll be back the next few days with some more content. Richie, have a great night. Enjoy that beer and go Noles.
Let's go 4-0, baby.
Let's go.